Dude, I forgot to. Yeah, did you see the article that came out, dude? I gotta keep you up to date, or we definitely gotta check this, dude.
Yeah, well, we probably should do more regular chats.
Yo, Cam, I called. There's a. Yeah, dude. You know what? I haven't been in the lab in a while. Bloomberg, dude. There was an article about Bloomberg in Tartaria, dude, and it kind of was a chop job.
Can you share your screen?
It might be behind the paywall now. It is, you son of Yeah, I can. Hold up. Let's do that. For sure. Cam, I called this author 3 days ago because what he did was what Tartarian Meltdown gave him an interview. Kim, the Norwegian.
Yeah. I think he's great.
And I think
nice guy,
yeah, he is. I've talked to him. Like on DM on Instagram and shit. I think this author schmoozed him. You know what I mean? It was like, hey, I like your work. And then he wrote a fucking asshole article about, dude, Cam, I can't believe I forgot to send this to you, bro. And dude, when I talked to him, everything I talked to him about, I made a transcript of it pretty much and put it on Twitter and IG and I tagged him on his Twitter account and his IG account. And I made it all transparent. And Cam, his sources were only Reddit and YouTube. Literally. He admitted this to me over the phone.
And he's writing articles.
And I said, well, I have old books that we use. Right.
Yeah, right. So this guy's
cool.
a paid journalist apparently, and he's
getting
his information from Instagram and from us on YouTube, and then taking the pee out of us.
You know what? Yeah, he gave what's his name gave him an interview. I didn't see the interview, but I guess it stems from that. Can you see?
Yep. Can see that.
Now watch this, dude. Okay. 1908 architect Ernest Flagg. Okay, because he mentions John Levi. And he mentions Tartarian Meltdown.
Well, he probably contacted John, but John wouldn't have spoken to him.
I want you to see this one article or this one thing where it's a long one, dude.
Jeez, man, we might need.
Hold on, I sent it to you.
Look, it's like the flat earthers,
and
they've kind of got people that they put up.
There's
it's like if someone wants to debate someone, it's not like if they get asked, they're like, well, no, you talk to this person because they can handle it, they know what they're doing, and that's kind of what we don't want them to be, preying on people and then who think they're doing the right thing and then they get all their words used against them. We've got it far out, man. Not good, is it?
Cam, that's why I contacted this dude and got out ahead of him.
Did you see that? Belief in conspiracy theories is driven by loneliness.
Yeah, where did you see that?
Go up a little bit.
Yeah, where?
I just read it as you were going down. So at least it's not an attack or a personal attack.
Well, no, there's one.
This is it.
Architecture through history. In pointing out the action, civilizations building Bastion forts. See, dude, it's like they're trolling us, yo. Straight up, like they're trolling us.
Forts.
Silk Road. Okay,
there's no such thing.
This is it, dude. Read this article, Cam.
There's no such thing as a Bastion.
Yo, look at this motherfucker. What he says.
Historicism. I've never heard that as a word before. Can make the Tartarian architecture community receptive to reactionary, racist, and anti-Semites. What? Oh my God!
See how they're laying a narrative down here, dude?
Where about? But the face of the villains in Tartaria is not clearly defined. There. Okay. The persistence of anti-Jewish tropes with current conspiracy theories is likely the result of cultural inertia. What?
Do you want me to call my Jewish friend who agrees with everything that we say, and he also listens to Owen, whatever, you anti-Semite? This is ridiculous. So when I talked to him on the phone, I called him right away, Cam, and I said, hey, his name is Zach Mortice. I said, hey, Zach, my name is Dustin, and this is like I had already directly DM'd him and snapshotted this stuff and was like, hey, where are your sources professionally? Can I ask you? And he's like, oh, he didn't respond to me until I called him. And I called him from my work phone number, an 888 number. Okay. And he answered the phone and he's like, hello. I'm like, hey, Zach, it's Dustin. My name's Dustin, Beserker Bear. I direct message you on Twitter about your article about Tartaria. I was questioning some of your sources and some of your, he's like, oh, hey, he was really cool. But he's like, yeah, I was just wondering, it's, you know, what's the ideology behind it? What's your ideology?
What?
I said, well, I don't necessarily know what ideology has to do with it.
Ideology?
But I, what I research, I have a lot of this old research architecture here in Buffalo, and I go to these places and research them. And there's a lot of anomalies that pop up in the research that I do. And I contrast it against what I find in articles and stuff like that. Also old books. Now I'm curious as to your sources is what I said. He's like, well, I just use Reddit and YouTube. I said, okay, well, we use old books for reference that are from like early 1900s, late 1800s. And he's like, oh, okay, well, next time if I'm doing another article on this, I'll keep you in mind. And I said, well, I appreciate that. And then I made it all transparent and I pretty much put the exact same thing on Twitter. And he retweeted one of them, my shit, and said, this dude just called me up and we had a pretty genial conversation. So he was professional about it.
Wow.
But when you write an article like you just,
When
you see that little paragraph, they're trying to lay out a narrative.
Yeah, and especially that the first question he asked you is, what's the ideology? What the hell? Like, this is like he's written in this article. They're trying to say anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic, racisms, the same stuff they're pushing in the narrative on the news for everything. So it's back to people are what they do, not what they say. So he might sound like the nicest guy, but look what he's written.
Because he mentioned John. Exactly. And because he mentioned John, I emailed John directly and let John know exactly everything that I said to him on Twitter too. And John's aware of it.
Yeah. Cool.
He's like, cool. So,
but I
agree with you. You got to like coalesce and huddle up.
Yeah. I think so. We need to, if we're getting attacked, they're going to
maybe another roundtable.
Yeah. I think so. Maybe get a big Zoom roundtable and, because this is what happened to, the flat earth. They just got, and that still is happening. And that they go around and they pick people that are into it but don't necessarily have enough background knowledge to hold a proper conversation and to sort of not defend but to prove their point. And this is who they're going to get. They're going to get them in and they're going to try and make them look silly and use that to defame everyone. So guys, be careful with the interviews that are outside this I'll
tell you what,
group or this movement.
Exactly, dude. They picked the perfect one.
And they go for nice people who want to talk.
Like I said, I like the kid.
Yeah, he's great. He's been doing some good lives.
I like your show. I like your. Yeah, I don't. Me, I don't necessarily agree with it. I'll be a melt, but it certainly does look. I don't give a shit if someone disagrees with me. That's the whole thing. Like I think it's cool regardless. We don't have to all agree on it. That's the whole idea here.
This is
but these sons of bitches will magnify that kind of stuff, dude.
This is what these SJWs
and there's other channels I'm noticing too that are kind of muddying the water. Yes.
They can't see. Everything has to be black and white to them. So they think that if we look at something and go, oh, that looks like it was melted, one of these mentally defunct bloody SJWs will go, oh my God, they just said that everything in the world is 100% melted. And it's like, no, dude, I just said that, it's just an idea. I mean, how do these people think we work stuff out?
Definitely does look like it.
Do they think that everyone's idea, the first idea, is true? I mean, you've got to be, we're asking questions. We're trying to get to the truth. And if this guy, if this is what we're getting for journalists, I mean, what a joke. This guy's pathetic. I mean, and the thing about journalists, so half of that word is journal.
So here's the deal too.
This dude's supposed to have a book and he's supposed to be taking notes. He's not supposed to be going on YouTube and Reddit and bloody stealing other people's content. Pathetic, dude.
How dare you question his...
Give me a call, mate. Give me a call. I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
if you've got.
That's why I did professionally keep the door open for a round table, man, honestly. And so another Cam, another YouTube channel did a expose on that. Are you familiar with chalk body outline?
Yeah.
Matt from Quantum of Conscience has mentioned him before, and that's how I know about him.
Yeah.
And he did a video on it. You know what I mean? And his video, the name of his title, get it? Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Tartaria hits mainstream, and it's bad.
Yeah. Right.
To make sure you check the comments out, because I proceeded to tell him exactly what I did with Zach and the author, and exactly how I put it all on blast professionally on Twitter and IG. And the dude recognized it and liked the comment. So I'm trying to get ahead of this shit as much as possible. We got to get that real, dude, because I could sense it in the water, yo. You know what I mean? I think that they're like trying to put like the Eye of Sauron is on us or something, yo.
Yeah, well, what's happened to me and my computers this week? It's like I've been feeling like that's happened anyway. And of course, Michelle Gibson did a big interview as well with Veritas. That may have had something to do with it hitting. That's her third, I think, now. So it's definitely hitting the mainstream. And I mean, as we know, all of our channels are being so restricted. Like, I think Martin even said it the other day.
Who's Veritas?
Veritas Radio. He's just he's not necessarily Tartaria. He just does all in inverted commas, conspiracy sort of
cool.
stuff.
I gotta check that out.
Interviews, just Veritas, Veritas Radio. Kind of a bit like a bit like Crow. Gets really good people onto interview. Yeah. So check him out. Great. But Great. Yeah, this is the thing. These people are gonna, this is why it's called the mainstream. And obviously, if anything that doesn't fit their narrative is outside the mainstream, and this is what they are trying to control so badly is the narrative. They just want to control it, and like it's like exactly what we were saying before. Is there it is, that Michelle Gibson one, yeah. Like we were saying before, they need to control the narrative.
Look at
because we're the power. They want to control our thought.
You could see that on the 333 dude. I see it all the time.
Oh, 333, all the
time, yo.
I'm getting that even.
Look, dude, it's crazy, bro.
And on videos you upload, they're all coming out at like 33 minutes and stuff. It's bizarre.
33, 36, 336. I'm telling you, dude. 22, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think that they inverted it to be bad.
Oh, no, it's not a bad
11,
thing.
11, 12, 12. I guess you get a lot.
33.
Not at all.
Not a bad. See, this is the thing with all these numbers and symbols is they're using them. How if they were using them, why would they be bad? They're clearly powerful for them and useful. All these numerology and that, they just tell us it's bad so that we don't use it. But I mean, and 333, that's 9. 9's the God number, right? So 333 is a pretty good number.
Yep. It's also in Norse mythology, it's the number of Odin.
Oh, yeah. I actually saw that the other day on a video, yeah. Because 9 is 9 always equals itself. That's why it's the God number. You can times 9 by any number, and when you break it down to its single digit, it'll be 9. So like 9 9s are 81, which is 9,
I guess you can say like sacred geometry. It's like nature breaks itself down like that, It's they know that and they use it to interpret it.
This is the knowledge that's been held. Is everything is a mathematical structure and geometry, and all these things mean things. But we've been told, look at what we get told. Numerology is for weirdos. Astrology is for weirdos. It's just all quackery. But this is the stuff they use. It's like one of your favorite quotes is, billionaires use astrologers. Millionaires don't. And this is what they're doing. They know all this stuff and all the structure and how things do interact and numbers do interact. And that's how they're controlling. But clearly, as we start to recognize it, their control is breaking down.
And do you remember being told or taught in elementary, like the creation myths, like for the natives, like we're all like whimsical and like on the back of a turtle, and it's all kind of like taught to be like it's fake.
Like a fairy tale.
like,
Yeah.
not necessarily true. But meanwhile, you look at the creation myth in the back of a turtle. I forget where I was listening to this, and it's the same as like the Metatron circle, or it's got all 13 circles on it, all turtle shells. And you start to think about it like the sky clock and everything, like how Crow talks about it. And that's actually more representative of the actual realm, a turtle's back, than, in my opinion, what they say the sun model is, and we're taught that as it's a myth, as whimsical as kids. It's all just to get our indoctrination of, the globe model, I think, man. And meanwhile, you look at a turtle's back and it's more representative of what we're actually on than what they try to teach us,
Yeah. And
they do hide it, man.
And in the past, they were a lot more right-brained. We've been taught to be left-brained, and everything should be left-brained and sequential and numbers and all this kind of stuff. But they used to be a lot more right-brained, which means when they told things, they were a lot more about allegory. So even when they're saying, we live on the back of a turtle, they're not necessarily saying we live on the back of an actual turtle, but they're saying that, there's a lot of, they're using that
metaphorical
turtle to describe the conditions that we're in, and the different layers and all this stuff. It all works out, but it's an allegory. And also when you pass stories like that down, it's so much easier to pass them down. If you imagine trying to pass that down in equations and maths, how many generations would that get through? It just wouldn't. But when it's a story,
exactly.
But what we've missed, what's been cut, is how to break that story down. The code of how to get the meaning out of it has been taken away, and so now we're just left with what they tell us are myths and legends, things that never happened. But
from the world's fairs tutorials. Okay, so this is Chalk Body Outlines video on the actual article that I told you about. Tartaria hits mainstream and it's bad. And I commented. I called this author, spoke with him directly. I also was in contact with him on both Twitter and IG. I called him out professionally on his sources. I also showed him and provided him an example of my sources, old books. I have many old books, late 1800s, early 1900s, yada, yada, explicitly mentioned Grand Tartary. You want more sources? Email me. And nice t-shirts, because he sells Tartary t-shirts. They're pretty sweet.
Oh, does he? Cool.
And he liked it, dude.
Cool.
And then he confirmed. I told him, I'm just trying to get ahead of the narrative here, because I don't want that. I don't want to be painted with that Q brush or that anti-Semite brush, dude. That's ridiculous. I'll get like I said, I'll get my buddy Toronto Jew Bear on a call.
I mean, it's just ridiculous. How are they? And this is what we're dealing with. These mentally unstable individuals are literally trying to connect people who, history geeks. We're history geeks. They're trying to connect people who are into history with anti-Semitic. I mean, it's not even a stretch. That's just stupidity. Yeah, I've seen Static has put out a few videos recently. I haven't seen his I actually haven't seen the last two. I haven't seen the skyscraper one or the Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I left some comments there too. I referenced, because he's got a lot of, he's got answers, but he's making he kind of talks a little bit arrogantly about it, man.
Yeah, well,
and he says that he's got answers, but then I'm so glad this is crazy. We're throwing some gravy around, dude. I'm so glad that Quantum of Conscious dropped another one of his old world ones again today.
Oh, did he?
He points out. So yes, he did. So Cam, let me just bring you to breast on this too, so you know pretty much everything from the article to this dude and Chalk Body Outline. Watch that.
Yeah.
This dude is saying that he's got answers for all of it, literally, and he's going to come out with more stuff. I got way more proof, and I'm like, whoa, great, that's great, cool. But man, with the claims and everything saying that you could do all this stuff, I think John Levi literally put his most recent one out in response to this. And then he just literally made another one in response to that. So he's saying that he's got answers for questions that we've been pondering, So I'm so glad that Quantum of Conscience came out with that video today. Exactly, because what Matt does is he proposes questions perfectly in contrast to what this dude is saying. So I made that aware to him in the comments to say, you should check Matt's out because he poses some questions that which you are claiming you have answers to professionally. Because I'm getting sick of it. You know what? This dude's cool. And it's nothing personal, Cam, but I think sometimes, because what's getting going on right now, are we being attacked? Are people getting turned on to muddy the water? Also, I have to incorporate, why did Howdy quit out of the blue? You know, is this like, I really sense like it's a campaign, dude.
Yeah,
Like
well,
maybe I'm just being over paranoid, but I have a good sense of things and I'm going with it. So I don't know. What do you think?
well, I mean, look what's
You gotta
going on
watch
in the
those two.
world for starters, and I've definitely noticed a lot of new channels just recently, like small, small ones. So they're obviously new on this topic. So we're obviously starting to make a bit of headroom, and there's like Veritas Radio. He's a pretty big channel. A lot of big channels are starting to talk about this stuff, and so obviously it's getting up, and people are starting to hear it. So I mean, put it this way: there's a reason it's hidden. There's a reason we're not taught this in school, because they don't want us to know. So clearly, when we're going to start trying to bring it out, that goes against their narrative. That's going to expose them, because literally what we're saying, at the crux of all this, we're saying there was a different civilization. It wasn't run by these parasites, and we were doing pretty bloody well. And so if we expose that, then what's it going to say? It's going to say the people running it are the problem, which we all know, and it's all the same. It's all leading to the same point. But yeah, so we must be scaring them. As far as Statics, he's been
We
around
all know.
for ages. And he did, at the start, he did that lake, the lake bursting, to try and, talk about mudflood and theories and that. And great, have theories. But as far as saying other people are wrong, you'd have to be able to prove that. Because,
Well, I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm not
no,
necessarily
as
saying that, but what
far
he's
as
saying, like
it
he's not.
seems to be that's what he's saying. Like I can see that Mudflood, he's tagged John Levi in it. I know he's tagged John Levi in the skyscraper one. And it's not just John doing this work, by the way. He just happens to have the biggest reach at the moment. And he doesn't have to answer these questions, because John, probably more than anyone, he just puts his thoughts out and asks questions. He never goes and says, this is what happened. This is what happened. And this is pretty much what we all do, because we don't know. So coming in and saying you do know, you're going to have a lot to back you up, because, nothing against Static, and no doubt he'll probably make a video responding to this if he sees it. But one thing I did see, I think it was the Tartarian architecture video, he was talking about Salt Lake City and how he'd seen the photos, how they dug down and found the foundations and everything. And he was saying, no, 100% the Mormons built everything in Salt Lake City. And then he said, but I can't explain the temple. I'd have to look into that more deeply. My first thought is, look, dude, it's not just the temple. Go to any country, any continent on Earth, and I'll show you something exactly the same. We're not talking about a flood in Utah. We're talking about something that's worldwide. So even if he can't explain that one temple, it doesn't really mean much in the bigger picture, because those things are everywhere.
That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think too, Cam, because honestly, I would say you have to watch him, honestly, because he was saying, he was also bringing out the brick thing too, about how to make bricks, and it was just leaving it with a cliffhanger, like, I'll show you next time type of deal. So I don't know, man. We'll see.
We should get UAP on to have a chat with him about bricks. The trillions of bricks. I mean, trillions of bricks. Trillions. What is it? Fort. Oh God, not forgotten the name. The biggest red brick building in the US. 60 million red bricks in one building that's out in the Florida Keys. Fort Jefferson.
Oh,
that's
the
just one
the
building.
Tortuga. Okay, is it Fort Jefferson?
Yeah. It's just the citadel left, and it's sitting out in the middle of the ocean, basically. That's the largest red brick building in the US.
Yes, I thought I thought it was called Tortusa.
I don't think so.
It was like one of your. I remember that, Cam. It was one of the
Maybe
first
there's
ones
two.
ever.
But this is the thing. I mean,
Yes.
so you can't look at specific areas and say, oh, look, I can tell you how they made the bricks for this building. That doesn't mean anything when there's 10 million other buildings. You know, this is clearly, you know, an earth-wide event, a plane-wide event. So trying to get into specifics and explain, look, 100%, this is how this corner of this building got sunk. Well, great. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. Of course, we have mudslides. You know, we can show you proof everywhere of villages that have been inundated and swallowed by mud. But are we going to sit there and say, oh, that's proof that everything on this, you know, earth, you know, that's why they're all sunk, because it doesn't make any sense to say this happened here.
No, I think
that must be the cause everywhere. It doesn't make sense.
Dude, you know me, you know, Philip makes fun of me because they say in Russian, it means you sit in a lot of chairs, meaning because I'm like, yeah, it looks like some of it looks like melt, some of it looks like trees, some of it looks like mining straight up, and some of it looks like giants to me, man. It like looks like all the same. And you know what? Like I incorporate biblical because I think in Enoch or whatever, or Babel, when it's describing it as Babel, whatever you want to say, I look at it biblically. It doesn't discount anything else. But when they built a tower up to the firmament, and those who were trying to reach into the firmament were getting rejected, and they were turned into elephants. So, and that's what we see, like these, you know, like Stellium 7, and it just makes you think. Yeah. So Philip makes fun of me because I don't want to make a hard line on anything, because I think it's all the same. But we need that type of general cohesiveness between us, at least the common discourse, if you will. Because I don't agree with everything that you think, and you don't agree with everything that I see, and vice versa with Philip. Because I definitely think that it was this worldwide mud flood, but I think some of it might have been caused by mining and that hydraulic mining overflow, or they might have purposely inundated some of these sites to flood them, like you and UAP and Martin talked about before. So it's definitely, well, I don't know, Cam, you know, but it looks like it's a combination of all. And it seems like some people get like butthurt about like getting into one camp about it. And I'm just like, yo, chill out. You know, we're all having a good time here researching the shit that we should have been known about as children, but we're all learning all sense of like, oh, it's all melt. It's all trees. You're stupid. It's like, come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah,
look what happens now if an article comes out and they're gonna try to magnify that type of shit, man. And we got to stick together. You know, we got to coalesce here and huddle up.
They're going to be putting enough, you know, wedges in the community without the community with it, you know, having its own infighting. This whole infighting, I'm right, you're wrong stuff. How is that helping? That only stops the flow of information. It doesn't increase it. So that's. I mean, and you can, you know, even if you believe that you've got the answer 100%, well, put it out on videos, but it still doesn't give you the right to run around telling other people they're wrong. This is the thing. And then when we get to like, you know, people making videos and tagging other creators in them to say, answer this. And it's pretty much saying you're wrong. So now answer it. That's not on, guys. Sure, you can do a response video and like, oh, you know, I watched your video. These are what I thought. How about this? But if you're going to attack people, you're not going to end up in this community. You're just going to ostracize yourself, and you're going to end up with the MSN trying, you know, one of these pissed off people trying to infiltrate and destroy us, because you're going to be butthurt that you're not right and that not everyone's agreeing with you. But why does everyone need to? Why do you need people to agree with you? Are you that insecure? Really? And also, is your God complex that big? Do you really think you know everything? Just with this limited, we've been in this, 4 or 5 years, with that little amount of information, you think you've sorted it all out, but you can't make a video explaining it. I mean, come on, guys, this division, I mean, come on, divide and conquer.
That's what I want to avoid.
we know divide and conquer. It's their biggest tool. Why would we help them?
Hegelian dialect.
Yeah, exactly, guys. We got to work together. And it's like Dustin said, you can look at stuff, and a lot of stuff looks like melt. A lot of stuff looks like it could be tines. A lot of stuff looks like mud flow. You know, a lot of stuff looks like mining. You know, I did that video on volcanoes and mining. But the fact of the matter is, we don't have 100% conclusive proof for any of this. We do not. So you shouldn't be saying you do unless you can prove that. And like I said, again, as far as then attacking the community and other people, because you're butthurt that people are saying different things to you, well, you know, you might want to have a look in the mirror, really, because this is a lot more about you than about the research or about the truth. It's much more about you and your views and your likes, really. That's what it's about you being heard. Which is really, guys, that's a cry for help. Go and look in the mirror, have a chat with yourself, sort yourself out, and understand this is all a community effort. We're here just trying to work it out. If you're not here to work it out and you're here to, you know, put division in and point the finger, well, you know, you have free will, but don't expect to be accepted as part of this community. You know, clearly, if you're in here trying to undermine us, then goodbye.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I don't want to be a part of that whatsoever. The segregation aspect at all. We're trying to. It's not like we're trying to go against anything. I think I make it clear that I don't like to make claims. I like to propose the idea of course, what we're doing is definitely going against what you'd say the mainstream. And then when the article like this comes out, it's got to be addressed. I try to get ahead of it as best I could professionally. And that's the whole idea, professionalism.
Definitely.
We're not going to get anywhere. We're already facing upstream going against the current here, going against mainstream and the bottleneck of academia, right? Infighting throws a whole nother wrench into that. And then when you get an article like this that comes out or whatever, who's someone who's not necessarily maybe using the best sources and who might not always have the best intent, not making anything on personal judgment on that. It just is what it is. And we're taking it at superficial level, like we do with the research a little bit, you know, but obviously we dig in a little bit more, but I don't want to be part of the dissension whatsoever. Matter of fact, I think that, you know, for me and you as well, Cam, that we try to bring everybody together. And I don't like when other people call us to other people out trying to be spiteful of it. Professionally, like you said, or like trying to move it forward or disagreeing is 100% welcomed. We need it. That's how the stuff moves forward, and we're not just sitting in the same place stagnant. But when you call somebody out and say, yeah, I got this, I got that, against something that we've been doing for a very long period of time, not even me, you know, Philip, Michelle, UAP, it take a little certain type of way. So I just want to say I'm completely against that, and I'm here to help out and, you know, round everybody up and huddle up together, move forward, dude, you know, because not that I'm aggravated, but, you know, you put some work into stuff. It's like, what's going on here? Does the ISORN really have a beat on us, man? It seems so, huh?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, look at the world, guys.
Who knows?
I mean, we don't need to help these parasites. You know, they're doing enough damage by themselves. And so check out all the channels as well, guys. We'll chuck some links down below. And yeah, Static, if you're seeing this, I'm not attacking Static in the attic. He's done some great research. He has. It's just this I'm right, you're wrong attitude.
Cam, I was just put onto him recently. I didn't know, you know, I wasn't familiar with, he did work before, like you mentioned. And sometimes I'm a little reactionary because I'm passionate. I'm not reactionary because I'm coming from an angle of being like trying to throw gas on the fire, if you will, because like I just explained, that's not how I am, but I am passionate and reactionary. So I left my comments in the section below, and I said what I mean, and I mean what I say. And, you know, those comments will stay there, and everything's transparent on my Twitter, you know, Beserker Bear at Stone of Thors. So you can come and check it out. So, you know, it is what it is. And I'm just trying to move the research forward.
Definitely.
And as you are too, Cam, and everybody else that we know.
And this is, this is how it happens. This is how it works. We just all work together. As soon as you start saying you're wrong, that just stops the flow. It can't help the flow. Like I said, you can definitely put stuff out and say, oh, well, I saw this, but what about this? This could be a different thing that we're not thinking of. Smarty face. But yeah, we've got to, stay happy as well, with your mind. Once you get into this fear and this division, it'll shut your mind down. Like literally the stress will stop you thinking as well, as well as you could. So, yeah, guys, keep your eyes out. See if there's any articles coming out. Let the community know if you see any more. Leave your comments. Talk to these people. Call them out. Because yeah, it looks like Sauron may have found us in our little community. And yeah, be professional, guys.
Yeah, remain professional.
Always. Don't stoop to their levels. Don't start calling names. Don't, just be professional. Hi, saw your article. Where did you get your sources from? Can I have all your sources? Things like this. Be professional. Don't give them
offer some of your
fire.
sources. I offered him some of my sources.
And yeah, this is the thing. If you approach these people as fellow researchers or whatever, then you can have a conversation. As soon as you go in and start pointing the finger and like, how dare you? You're wrong. What are you doing? We know what people do. Back goes up. Sorry, dude, I'm not hearing anything you say. And then they go away and they go, that guy was an asshole, and they write more articles. So yeah, let's not do that. Let's be smarter than them, because we are. I mean, we know their tricks. They don't have any new tricks. They just got the same old play. So let's not get pulled into that and keep going forward with this community. Definitely. Awesome. All righty. Should we leave it there? That was a good little chat.
Yeah. Thanks, Cam. As always, brother.
All right. Well, thanks to the Beserker Bear. Make sure you go check out his channel as well. Always doing awesome work. And yeah, I'll leave links in the description below. Stay awesome. Let us know if people are trolling us. And guys, stay good, stay happy, and stay professional. There you go. All right. Cheers, Dustin. Talk to you soon, mate. Have an awesome day.
Thanks, Cam.